Season 50, War 11, we're matched up against an alliance that I can't really pronounce the name of, but the bands are Angela, Corvus, Maestro, Odin, and CGR, so very cosmic heavy, and I do not really take any mini-bosses with my cosmic champion, but he's going to have some nice path fights, and my mini-bosses will be taken with Tigra. So we have Gore for 3 path fights, Silk for a path fight, and then Tigra is going to have 2 minis, one of the minis being against the only fight that I have died to this season that I'm getting a rematch against. I'm really excited to show that one off. Basically, we're going to start off against this SpiderMan, which I was only hitting when stunned until I got my clarity up, and once I did get clarity up, well, he can't evade now, so I'm kind of chilling at this point. So I just kind of spam debuffs with Gore. I'm going to go for an SP2 because SP3 is definitely overkill and it just takes more time. So get a nice crit at the end of that. Take a little bit of damage from the cribbing with your best, not cribbing with your best shot. I don't remember what that node is, but it's the one that gives him the cruelty. They can crit through the block with it. So either way, he's dead. We're just going to throw in a combat regen to get a little bit of health back to prepare for this Mysterio. And this Mysterio is a pretty easy fight. He is a little bit scary on this node just because he already hits hard in general, so getting hit when he has Furies is a lot more concerning. But it's fine. I can immediately start attacking because I have the Undermine, so the auto block phase means nothing to me. He's going to throw more SP1s than I actually want him to at the start. I should be pushing him to SP2 a little bit, but it's okay. It just means I can't hit him for a few seconds after, which kind of would be the same thing if I push him to SP2, but it means he's using less bars of power. More bars of power, which is helpful. So there, I didn't want him to throw that, but he did, which it's whatever. It's not that big a deal. It just means I'm getting back in my corner now, which I probably could have played it better to where I didn't get in that corner so fast, but it's all good. We are going to just anti-beta special attack once again, go for a double medium or 3 combo, and then finish him off with the relics. So really easy fight. I'm playing a rank 3 Gore. It's not really that difficult just because I kill stuff before I even get to my SP3 oftentimes. Alright, next up we're fighting Werewolf By Night on node 22, and this is going to be taken with Silk, and basically the way this fight can go wrong is if you get a Rupture on you and he has the debuffs from Special Burst Lockdown active. So basically what's going to happen is we can either parry when we don't have Special Burst Lockdown debuffs active, or we can just never parry. That's kind of how you play this fight safely, because Silk will reduce the duration of Ruptures by 90%, so if I don't have Special Burst Lockdown debuffs, I can afford to go for a parry, but if I do, I can't because it will still trigger the unblockable, and it will take a while for those steady build-up debuffs to go away, so he's going to be unblockable for a long time, which is where the problems for this fight ensue. So I'm throwing an SP3. I probably could have gotten away with just an SP2 rotation, but I just... in my head, when I was going into the fight, I was going to go SP3. He ended up dying faster than I expected, but it's fine. It just means we took a little bit more time on this fight, but again, it's not even a big deal. We just get a 36k crit on that heavy attack. Didn't even need to launch the relic or the special. He's just beyond dead at that point. So, alright, next up is going to be Gore versus Guillotine on node 41. Gore is the perfect counter for this fight simply because he is heal block immune, so you are never triggering steady build-up unblockable at all, because the way steady build-up unblockable will trigger on this fight is if she A, throws an SP2, combine with the Power Sting, combined with the heal block debuff that's naturally there. So that's how she's scary on this node, but because we are immune to the heal block, she physically cannot inflict me with 3 debuffs unless I get parried or something stupid like that, but that's just not going to happen. So Gore does have a hard time ramping in this fight just because she's power draining me so much, and I have to weave in heavy attacks, which kind of mess with his rotation, but also she has a small health pool, so it's not like she lives very long, and once we start placing debuffs, we do a good bit of damage, so I just need a Dex or SP1s, and we're fine. I did kind of forget that she can make me miss, which is going to trigger pretty soon, like right there. Luckily, she threw an SP2, so I didn't get punished, but yeah, I did completely forget about the miss, which could have been worse, but we're fine. So there we go, that's my path fights. And next up, we're going to be fighting Thing on Node 37 as my first mini-boss. And this is a fight I've done countless times before. This is by far the worst time I've played it. Like, it's going to look pretty bad, and you're going to see why right here. I sped the fight up because this fight is almost 3 minutes because of how bad I played it, but I made 2 big mistakes in this fight, and there was the first one. I let my neutralize fall off. He was at 15 rock stacks, and he was at 15, the neutralize fell off, and he was very far away from a bar of power. So I had to spend a bunch of time pushing him to 1, because, in case you didn't know, I say this all the time, but the neutralize triggers the neutralize triggers after the unstoppable triggers. So, if he's at 15 and my neutralize falls off, I can either A, beta special, or B, I just have to force him to another special. So that's what happened there. I'm trying to refresh my senses now. We're already a minute and a half in. He's still like at 67% at that point. We're going to go for an SP2 right there. And again, I let the neutralize fall off. He was at 15, and I get punched at the end. So I'm just playing this fight so incredibly badly. We're at like 60% health. He's at his maximum furies, so I'm a little bit scared. He throws his SP2 there. I'm getting the counter. Going for the relic just to get him back in the corner. I need him to throw the special. He throws it. We're going to light attack into my special too, just to get a little bit closer, so the unblockable always will trigger, always will hit him, unless he like dashes back, dexes it or something. But either way, there goes that fight. And without further ado, we are going to rematch the fight I died to. And this is the only fight I've died to all season, and I was so pissed off because it's a matchup I know perfectly. So what I did in preparation for going back into this was I practiced Kindred versus Tigra, or Tigra versus Kindred, the matchup countless times. I practiced and practiced until like I couldn't possibly mess it up anymore unless there were some serious AI issues. And then I even asked my friends, hey, what is some good metal music to make me want to rip someone's head off? And I don't like metal music, but I needed it in the moment. And this is going to be the fruits of my labor. We're going to see how well I took this Kindred. The fight that took away my Deathless season. The Deathless season that I never thought I would come this close to. And I am coming into this fight with the motivation to absolutely rip his freaking head off. So, without further ado, here we go. Unfortunately, we did lose this war, meaning we have lost our chances at top 10. However, if we still win our next one, we can still finish Masters, which will be my first and the Alliance's first ever Masters finish. So it all comes down to War 12, which is about to start in a couple hours as of the time of recording this. So yeah, it all comes down to War 12. Masters or back to Platinum 1 like usual. And all our efforts will be wasted. But we can do it. I know we can. And we're gonna get it. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the little edit I did. I don't do a lot of editing stuff, but I did find a lot of fun making that one. So if you enjoyed the video, I'll see you in the next one.